Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. Going to roll back over to Knoxville. Going to talk to my good friend, the head coach of the Knoxville Catholic Fighting Irish. Almost couldn't get that out. Head coach Philip Shadowens. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Doing great, Stuart. How you doing?
Doing well. Called 10-3. Go back a little bit right before you got on fall break. Got into it with Ensworth, and Ensworth is a really special team this year, but came out on the losing end, 35-6. They got some things going over there, and they're playing really hot right now. And I guess they got on to you quick. Take it away, Coach.
No, not really. It was.
Oh, okay.
It was 7-0 early. We caused a turnover there, somewhere about halfway through the second quarter, and then we turned it right back over to them, and they scored before half, made it 14-0. We came out and scored 14-6, and then they scored again at the end of the third quarter, made it 21-6. And so about, 9 minutes left, it was 21-6. We had a ball. I mean, I thought we still had our, opportunities, and then they scored too late in the game against us. So didn't like that. So more competitive than the score shows, but we didn't play well. On really either side of the ball. I thought it was the worst performance on defense. Give them credit for that. They were able to run the ball really effectively against us, and we just couldn't get off the field. We really had some misaligned throughout the night with some formation issues we had, and it was really the first time all year long defensively I thought that, we had those kind of mistakes. So we got off fall break after that one, and practice Thursday and Friday at fall break like I kind of always do, and then this week obviously preparing for McCallie. We've had, on Wednesday night here, we had three really good days, and ready to go about the business of playing McCallie.
Well, and you was talking about the Ensworth game. Sounds like, and I'm sorry I misjudged because I just looked at the score, but it sounds like you held them off, and then you would get the ball, and then you would try to get something going, but you couldn't get it down there to get it to where you could get some points out of it. It sounded like to me you just, like you said, some formations and some things uncharacteristic.
Yeah, I thought they kind of dominated us at times, from against our offense at times, and then also dominated the line of scrimmage against our defense at times. We just didn't play up to our level and up our standards and our expectations, and certainly not going to beat anybody scoring 6 points, but at the same time, we give up too many yards on the ground and couldn't get off the field enough. So we got to play better. I think we got to play better complementary football, all three aspects, all three phases, and so we've worked exceptionally hard to try to make some improvements there, and so we're really looking forward to get back on the field. It's been a long 2 weeks. After you get beat like this, it's been a long 2 weeks to play again, and who better to play than a defending state champion or two-time defending state champion in 5 out of 6 years, whatever it's been. I don't know, but whoever that is. But anyway, we're looking forward to playing McCallie on Friday night.
No question. Blue Tornadoes, Ralph Potter and their tradition. I did see the hype video that they created for their annual game against Baylor, which I did watch part of that Baylor-McCallie game. And no question about it, McCallie's got some kids, and they're going to come into Knoxville, into your place. They're going to be ready, Coach.
Oh, yeah, they're 0-2. They got beat by Ensworth and got even Baylor. They're 0-2 in the conference just like we are. We got beat at the end by NBA and then obviously by Ensworth. And so there's two teams that have high expectations that are not, faring very well in our region right now. And even though everybody makes the playoffs, certainly, you want to find a way to win a game. So, there's two desperate football teams on Friday night to win a football game in league. We're sitting here 4-2. I think they're 4-2, maybe the same. I'm not really for sure, to be honest with you. They may be 5-2 or 4-3. I can't remember, but anyway, I know they're 0-2 in region, and so it's two teams that are going to be excited about playing and trying to find a way to win a game.
Well, and two, whichever one of you wins, it's going to be a little bit of a breath. Because if you don't win, then you're really playing uphill. So in that situation, health-wise, Coach, how are you?
Pretty good. We're a little dinged up this time of year. Everybody's dinged up, but certainly we've been fortunate not to have anything severe throughout the year. We've lost a little bit of time with kids being dinged up, but nothing to really speak of. And so we got our guys, and they're ready to go, and based on the week of practice, I think mentally we're where we need to be, and I'll be surprised if we don't play really, really well Friday night.
Well, I was talking to Coach Counts on Monday, and we were having our conversation with our coaches shows, and he was talking about how well his group has really grown up this season. And I feel like from week one to now in the Friday Night Lights, I feel like your team is one of those teams that they're the ones that's really grown up, and now the game's in front of them on these last few as we close out the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we have a good group of seniors, first and foremost. I'll say that. And, last year we only had one that really played very much at all. We do have a really good group of seniors, but we got a special group of young kids that are sophomores now. And so they have grown up. They've grown up a lot from last year to this year. But now we're looking for the consistency that it takes to win, with football games in our league on Friday night. And that's what we're fighting a little bit. We're just inconsistent at times. And we got to put 48 minutes together. We got to play complementary football. We got to eliminate penalties. Just some silly things that we still make mistakes, and sometimes they're young mistakes, and sometimes they're just dumb mistakes, regardless of age. So we got to play smart football, complementary football, like I've said numerous times, and then we also got to create some turnovers. I think that's we did that well really early in the year. In our early games, and we haven't created, even though we created one Friday night, the past Friday night against Ainsworth, we wasn't able to capitalize on it. So some of the complimentary football I'm talking about is that, if we make a play on defense, we need to capitalize that on offense, or vice versa. Play with some momentum, and special teams improve. There's just lots of aspects to winning football games in our league. It's not easy to win a game in our league, and we all know that. And so we've got to put it all together, and so we can have an opportunity to do what we want to do.
You may have to put out a ribeye dinner the first guy that causes a fumble or something like that. That's been well known to happen. Kids like steak. You never know.
It's like steak. We have really focused really hard through the fall break and through this week of practice of just creating turnovers, and I think that's something that's really important. If you win the turnover battle in a game, a lot of times the percentages say you have a better chance to win football games, and so that's something we've really focused on this week. Of trying to take the ball away, and we're going to have to do that against teams that we play in our league. So it's been a point of emphasis this week, and so we'll see what happens on Friday night.
Coach, we can't thank you enough for joining us on Inside the Headset. Good luck Friday at home against the McCallie Blue Tornadoes.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, Stuart.
See you, bye.